The Mobile County Public Schools presents Homeroom.
Hi, and welcome to Homeroom, where we introduce you to the students and the educators who make Mobile County Public Schools the best schools in the state of Alabama. I'm your host, Renee Phillips. Now, on our social media pages and the MCPSS TV YouTube channel, we like to spotlight the many schools that we have and the great things that they're doing. We have 90 schools, and I'm going to introduce you to 4 of them today. Starting with, we've got an adapted PE teacher, Kim Reeser. Now, when we met you, you were at Callahan, and now I understand that you're going around to several different schools to teach the children adapted PE, but what's adapted PE?
Adapted PE is providing an individualized PE plan for students who require that individualized instruction in their physical education course of study.
So these are students that may have a disability, and so they need some extra accommodations to do the same activities, because they just want to do the same activities other children are doing, right?
Right. Those accommodations or modifications to allow them to be more successful in that general physical education setting.
And I want to talk about when we came out and videoed you, you were at Callahan School for the Deaf and Blind, and that is such a special place that many people may not realize that we have in Mobile County Public Schools, such an asset to our families who have a student who's deaf or blind. So tell us about that school.
Callahan is a wonderful gym that maybe is not as well known to parents and people in the community. They have a pre-K program. A lot of times students will come in to that pre-K program and they will stay at Callahan through 5th grade. A lot of resources are available there. We have an audiologist on staff, orientation and mobility, music therapy for those who require that in their IEP plan. Music is taught there once a week as well. So just a lot of different resources and wonderful teachers and staff there.
The art, I love going to visit Callahan. It's such a special place. And so we have video. We're going to watch the video of you teaching adapted PE at Callahan.
Okay.
Handle, let me get on the other side. All right, your left foot, the pedal is down.
It was a grant that I wrote, Tricycles for Fit and Fun, through the Kids Heart Challenge, and it's sponsored by the American Heart Association. So I received a $1,200 grant in order to purchase 3 bicycles that we will actively use during our adaptive PE classes, and my goal is to bike with them at least once a week. Before we begin, we have cones that we've marked out this oval track for Anicia. With the low vision, we need a contrast between the darkness of the asphalt and the orange color of the cone. That gives her a visual to steer toward as I guide her around the track. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice aspect about the bike riding is we're increasing gross motor skill development. We're also increasing just her visual stimulation, and it's a full body sensory experience. We're talking about the things that she feels as Anicia is riding. We're also talking about the things that Anicia hears as she's riding. So bike riding just has a lot of benefits. You know, it helps to increase the strength, coordination, also concentration and attention. And those are skills that will carry over into the academic setting, and not just in the educational setting, but outside in Anicia's everyday world. So we are just excited that we had the opportunity to receive this grant, and that we have bicycles that we're now able to use with our older students who can't use the typical training wheel bikes because they're just too small. Look, what do you hear?
I hear kids.
You hear kids?
Yeah.
Where are they going? They are.
It feels so fast and it's so cool to ride a bike. I think that a lot of people will like riding a bike.
Yes! Good job! You did it! All right, ready for round 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, look at her smile.
Yes.
And you said she had never ridden a bicycle before.
Correct.
And so what was that like for you as a PE teacher to watch that joy as she was riding around?
That's why we do what we do. Most of the time, students with visual impairments, they're not able to ride bicycles. You have the balance deficits, they don't have the confidence, and they don't have the equipment that's needed. So through this grant, we were able to provide these 3-wheeled bicycles to give them the confidence that they needed. And you saw where we used the gym mats. So they're able to step up onto the mat and then slide over onto the seat. Visual impairments, typically they have depth perception issues as well. So there's some fear involved in learning how to ride a bike. But she was so excited because she had never had the opportunity to ride. And initially she did not think that she would be successful.
But
and
she was so confident.
Yes, that realization that it was something that she could do. And they're able to do it independently. I mean, you're walking beside them, but they're pedaling, they're exerting the force, they're exercising, and just that joy and freedom of being able to ride. So that's why we do what we do. It's very fulfilling to see their joy.
That is so wonderful.
Yes.
And yeah, she had that confidence. Obviously, you did a great job getting her prepared to get on that bicycle.
Thank you.
So now you travel around to several schools in West Mobile.
I do.
And so what's that like? What are your students like, and what kind of activities are you doing out there?
I have students that have a wide range of needs, and so we do some pushing into that gen ed setting to help them be successful in the skills and activities and games that are being taught in the general physical education classes. We're working on strength, flexibility, striking. So I would love to, in the future, be able to possibly expand that program to students who would be able to be successful with bike riding. So.
And that would be wonderful.
Yes.
Because like we said, every child wants to ride a bicycle.
They do.
And to be able to give that opportunity to all of our kids.
Yes.
That's so special.
Definitely.
And you started as a regular PE teacher, transitioned to adapted PE. You love it.
I do. I love it. This is my 33rd year, and I just enjoy working with students, seeing them progress and seeing them be successful in activities that maybe initially they don't think that they can be successful in. You're building that confidence, seeing that skill development, and we want them to be physically fit and active, exercise, throughout their lifetime. So we need to instill that confidence and build those skills so that hopefully it's something they will continue throughout their lifetime.
Exposing it for those lifetime skills.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for
You're
what you're
welcome.
doing and the joy that you bring to our students.
Thank
we have to
you.
break for commercial, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to Denton Magnet School of Technology. So stay tuned for Homeroom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good, how are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today we're spotlighting some of our wonderful schools, just as we do on the Mobile County Public Schools Facebook page and on the MCPSS TV YouTube channel. Joining me now from Denton Magnet School of Technology, I have Jill Spencer, fabulous teacher, and Jack Hoyle, 8th grade. You're ruling the school?
Yes, ma'am.
And Denton was named the top middle school in the state of Alabama for what you guys are doing, particularly with technology and the hands-on learning. So tell us about Denton.
Sure. At Denton, we really just want to give exposure to as many different types of technology as possible. So the students, we already know they enjoy technology. They're at our school for a reason. We want those students to be able to find their niche and realize that their career paths are endless through technology. And we feel like it's our job at Denton to give them a chance to go ahead and start putting themselves out there, competing some, and having an opportunity to see how they look up against the rest of the world, the country, here in the state of Alabama. We do it small scale and big scale.
And Jack, you've gotten to travel. You went to the world competition in robotics, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that like?
It was awesome. There was 2,000 teams from around the world gathered up in this one convention center. It was just so fun to see other teams and see how they challenged this task.
In Texas, right?
Yeah.
And how do you think Denton did?
I think we did pretty well. We did well for our first time going.
And you're going to keep on going back?
Definitely.
So we recently caught up with you guys at Denton, and we have video of the ACES Club, so let's watch.
Hello and good morning, Admirals.
We appreciate you joining us for today's broadcast.
Today's date is Friday, March 10th, 2023.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence.
Our ACES competition team students come into 6th grade feeling that they have a niche in certain areas, and we are here to broaden their horizons and let them see that their abilities can extend further than they ever dreamed. So we try our best to show them that each technology trait and skill that we teach here at Denton, we try to show them how that leads directly into career paths so that they realize the things they're doing here every day that they feel like are fun and entertaining, they get a chance to take that on into their future.
I love working with robots because you get to see like a challenge and then you get to build a robot that meets that challenge and you get to do it in different ways. But yeah, I just really like that.
I call it fun stress because it's stressful because you have to focus on everything that's happening around you and be like acutely aware of stuff. But then it's also fun because afterwards you realize that it wasn't that hard and you're there, you have the opportunity to be there.
Outside of just the technology skills, the ACES competition team provides so much leadership training and collaboration with the students. They choose to work in groups, they learn to listen to one another and value each other's ideas. They learn that it's important to see and hear first before they just take ideas and say, never mind. They decide that they want to learn and listen together first to help out with their group projects.
That looks like so much fun. And Jack, you're the president of the ACES Club. So tell us what's that's like for you.
So yeah, the president of ACES Club, I think it's a cool position to fulfill because we get to be the head of ACES and we get to represent ourselves at the different competitions we go to.
That's cool. And as an educator, how's that to see your students grow in their experiences and their learning and their leadership?
Yeah, so with ACES, we really, we're facilitators, the mentors. We work together to encourage them, give them the framework, but they take it and run with it. So even for our elected officers, we allow the students to vote for who they would like, and Jack was unanimously voted as our president this year. And for me to get to pass off the task to the students and get to see them running their own club, it's an amazing experience.
So you get to run meetings and all that and figure out what activities you guys are going to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And so what's your favorite activity?
Definitely my favorite activity is robotics. It's just, I think it's so satisfying to build a robot to complete a challenge and then have fun with it at the same time.
Because you have to do it from scratch, or how does that work? Do you have a task you have to do?
We see a task and then we have to use the engineering design process to try to fulfill the task.
That's cool. And then in ACES, you give your students so many different opportunities. So they have the robotics. What else are they doing?
Video production. The students just worked on creating videos to tell how career tech and their student organizations impact their life. And then also we have graphic design. The students learn how to do digital design, but they also create products that can be sold. And as well as photography, there's building projects, catapults, airplanes. It's endless. Anything that technology lends its hand to, they have an opportunity.
The pumpkin catapult's one of my favorites. And Jack, you work on the video production, right? Do you do the morning announcements?
Yes, ma'am. We do the morning announcements. We run it every day. It's student-led, and we just show the school what we're made of, I guess.
So kind of like we're doing here now. Mm-hmm. What do you think of this operation? Are we doing okay?
Yeah, it's awesome.
We're ready to upgrade.
Yeah, we're ready to upgrade.
That's great. And then you have the computer coding. I'm going to brag for a second. My son went to Denton, and he and a friend placed first in the state in computer coding, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, the team programming challenge that we do with the Alabama Consortium, we cannot teach the level that these students are doing.
Yeah.
They are beyond us. When we see the practice questions, we tell them good luck. I mean, they are coding at a high level, higher than some high school students. The college level students are the ones running the competition, and they're the ones grading it. They're the ones that make the questions. So I just always congratulate our students to even sign up and be willing to participate. Yeah. There's not very many middle school kids who are ready for the challenge, and they are.
Yeah.
They definitely are every
and it's
year.
Problem solving. Like he was trying to
Absolutely.
explain to me what it is, but you have a problem, you solve it,
Yes.
and you write code to solve it.
Yep.
That's all I know.
Yep,
Did
and
that,
no tips, no help, no guidance, just a blank screen and their brains. It's an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, so Jack, you're an 8th grader, you're moving on to high school next year. Would you recommend Denton to other kids who are interested?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really, really prepared me for everything in high school. I mean, leadership-wise, teamwork-wise, technology-wise, everything.
Okay, well that's fantastic. So we are going to break for commercial, and when we come back, we're going to visit with Bryant's Career Technical Center in South Mobile County. So stay tuned for Homeroom.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today we're learning about some of our schools that we have spotlighted on the Mobile County Public Schools Facebook page as well as the MCPSS TV YouTube channel. Joining us now is Jeff Whitten from Bryant Career Technical Center.
Yes,
Hi.
ma'am. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so tell us about this program that you have at Bryant.
So we have 15 programs, just a little bit about Bryant Career Tech Center. The one that I have, our focus is electrical work. So the kids come in and you know, we introduce, or I introduce them to what's in the electrical trade. You know, kind of what's your options out there. And then we go through and it's a base, you know, we have to start on a base learning. So like right now the kids came in the first week and we ran some PVC pipe under our portable out of our outside sub panel and up a light pole, and they put an exterior light up.
That's cool.
You know, yeah. So it was, they thoroughly enjoyed it. They loved it. They were excited. So our next big project is we're going to take a storage building that's roughly 40 by 60 and do all the electrical work in it. We're going to put some receptacles, you know, start with a panel, put some receptacles, some lighting. So they're really excited about all of that.
And these are great skills that they're learning, because then they can go home and do that in their own backyard, build a shed, put some electricity in it, right?
That's right. Well, and I tell the students, you know, I say, hey, you may not be interested in being an electrician. You know, you may find out, hey, I really want to do something else, but you learn how to change a light switch, you learn how to put up a fixture, a ceiling fan. You're not paying somebody else to do it.
Yeah, and those are great skills, because I know at our house, when you become a grown-up, I tell my kids all the time, being a grown-up is tough, right? Like something's going to go out in your house, you're going to have to replace something, so they're learning how to do it.
That's right.
As well as the skills, because we always get asked in the school system, what are you doing to prepare kids for the workforce? This is a great example of that.
I mean, it's very, very much workforce related. You know,
So
it's firsthand.
what do the kids think? Are they interested when they come into the class? Do they have no idea what they're getting into, or what's it like?
You have a mix. You know, you have some students who show up who say, you know, their family does electrical work, and then you have some students who say, the counselor just put me in here, I don't know what I'm getting into. And most of the time, they end up leaving very excited about learning the things.
Because Bryant, tell us about Bryant. So we have in Mobile County Public Schools, we have Bryant Career Technical Center, we have Faulkner Career Technical Center, and then we have the Citronelle Academy. And all of them focus on different areas. And you take in kids from, any kid from half of the county can go to Bryant, right?
Five schools. We have Baker, BC Rain, Bryant, Davidson, and Theodore.
Right.
So they bus the students to us. We get the kids in class. You know, we have, this year with the schedule, we have 3 class periods. So they're there for that amount of time, and then they go back to their school. You know, like I mentioned before, we have 15 programs ranging from carpentry to turf management to health sciences, cosmetology, everything in between. And, you know, the kids are just exposed to, you know, trades, skilled trades, and, you know, things that they can go right out into the workforce.
Woodworking.
Absolutely.
I bought a porch swing from them, and it's great, right?
Yes.
Like they're doing real hands-on learning when we talk about hands-on learning.
And that's, you know, we operate a simulated workplace, so everybody has a role. We have a safety manager who makes sure that all of the students are wearing their, you know, PPE that they're supposed to be wearing. So they get the leadership opportunities, because when you go out into the workforce, you know, you have to ask the students, why is somebody going to hire you? You know, if there's 10, 18-year-olds, why are they going to hire you?
Right. And they're earning career credentials, aren't they?
Yes. They get their CRI through NCCER Core in my class, as well as 6 other classes do NCCER. And you know, other ones have different credentials, but yes, ma'am, they get that.
And that sets them apart, don't you think, when they walk in there? Like, I took this course at Bryant Career Technical Center. I have a credential. So tell us, what do y'all do for fun? You were telling me about a scarecrow contest that your students participated in.
We signed up with Bellingraph Gardens, and we did that through our CTSO. And so multi-classes worked on it. Mr. Clark, who teaches our manufacturing, has a wood CNC machine, so he cut it out of treated plywood. Miss Jones' class, they decorated it. Had everything laid out. My class, being an electrical kind of construction class, we set it all up at Bellingraph, basically.
And it's Beetlejuice.
It is Beetlejuice. Which is awesome. It's the theme. Yes,
so the kids for homework, did they have to go home and watch Beetlejuice?
Well, yeah. They did that just to catch up on it.
That's
because
awesome. So what's your favorite thing that you do at Bryant?
Favorite thing is really this Friday is going to be our CTSO day. So we have a cookout. We have our Career Tech Student Organization, our meetings. The Career Tech Student Organization, everybody always says CTSO, people don't know what that means. Ours is FFA. It is student-led, so we have a president all the way down. They lead everything.
Yeah.
And just to see them take charge and do it, and then we celebrate with a cookout. That's probably my favorite thing.
I love it. They're learning skills, they're learning leadership, and they're just a family, a community.
That's right.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for everything that you're doing at Bryant Career Technical Center.
Well, thank you for spotlighting it and helping get the word out.
All right, thanks. So we have to break for commercial, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to Ashley Self, who's one of our English as a second language instructors who goes throughout the county helping students. So stay tuned for Homeroom.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
When parents are involved in school, they get more of this and less of this.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today I'm introducing you to some of our schools and programs that we have spotlighted on the Mobile County Public Schools Facebook page, as well as on the MCPSS TV YouTube channel. Joining me now, I have Ashley Self, and she is an ESL teacher, which stands for English as a Second Language, and you move around to several schools out in the county working with our kids.
I do. Sims Middle is my base school, but I also serve students at Grand Bay Middle and Phillips Preparatory.
And people may not realize that we do get a lot of students in our school system where English is a second language.
Absolutely. We have over 2,000 students that we're serving in the district right now, and the numbers are varied across our schools, but absolutely we have 26 teachers who are working to serve each of those students.
Now, Sally Erickson, who helps with this show, we were presenting at the Alabama Association of School Boards Conference, and we mentioned that in Mobile County there's 60 different languages that our children speak, and everyone's eyes were just like, whoa. So is that something, we embrace our diversity here in Mobile County, but it's also a challenge, right?
It can be, yes. Our students and our families in ESL are amazing. They're incredible, and we certainly want to highlight all that they bring to our schools and our community, and we really want to approach that strengths-based learning as an asset when we serve them in our schools.
And so what types of activities do you do?
So when I work with my students during intervention, ESL teachers really focus on intervention in the second and fourth quarter of each school year, and so I like to give my students choice in what we do. I like to let them, vote on some themes, but we're really trying to hit the 4 domains that we measure their English proficiency in. So that's listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So it looks different. We want to, look at what they need, what the needs are. It's really individualized, but we're going to target that academic language through those 4 domains in ways that are of interest to them.
And the individualized is so important, because just like a regular classroom teacher, you have kids coming in at different levels.
Absolutely. We differentiate and we coach our teachers on how to do that in the classroom for our students as well.
Now, when we met up with you, you had received a grant for some fun hands-on activities in your school. So let's watch that video to see you interacting with your kids.
So I obtained my certification through this program, Alabama Teachers of Tomorrow, and it was an exciting surprise to learn that I was a finalist for this larger prize. But so I did this program to achieve certification and applied for a grant just for a little bit of extra money to work on projects with my kids in the classroom, and hope to get that larger prize as well for my students.
Yeah, water and air.
So I love doing project-based learning with my kids. I want their learning to be relevant and to be meaningful to them. And again, we want to pick up social and academic language, and so that was just a fun way. It was of interest to me, and I found of interest to my kids as well to, we're going to work with our hands and do some things where we can pull in all the domains that we focus on: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And plants are just a fun way to do that. We can kind of see it through and incorporate language into all aspects of that process.
That's excellent. So that was at Grand Bay Middle School. You were there that day. And just how great is it to be offering those hands-on project-based learning projects for the kids?
I love to do that. I love to do that with my students. I like for, like I said, they're learning to be relevant. I want them to see the value and make connections across their subjects, so that really sticks with them and they feel value in what we're doing in our time together.
And I'm sure they're seeing that as a fun activity where they're doing gardening, but you're also sneaking in some of that teaching and learning, aren't you?
Sure, it's so fun, and I want to have fun with them, and so it really feels like we're just playing and having a great time, and we are, but we're definitely going deeper with vocabulary and explicit instruction that they may not even realize is happening as we're doing it.
And so you are based at Sims, that's at Grand Bay. Tell us about what are some of the other schools that you visit.
So I'm at Sims Middle 3 days a week. I have about 58 students there that I check on, work with, and follow up. At Phillips, I check in on those students as well. We have about 11 at Phillips who are, they're all at different levels, and they're just working to the best of their ability, doing a great job.
And at Phillips, that's a pretty tough school.
It is, but our students handle it well, and the teachers, my role is very collaborative, and the teachers that I work with, one of the things that I do is coach them, but they're very open to serving these students and receiving coaching, and that makes a huge difference.
Because that is your role, you're working with the students as well as the teachers.
Right, we want everyone to feel confident in their ability to meet the needs of these students, and we want students to feel confident in their learning and advocate for themselves, and so that they can move forward.
And are there other ESL teachers working in other schools, or how does that?
Yes, so I am one of 26 teachers working throughout the district, and everyone has a caseload that they manage and work toward meeting the needs of students in their parts of the community.
Yeah, because that's what we say in Mobile County. We're preparing all students to be college and career ready, and so I love this program in particular because...
Right, our English learners are no different. We want them to be able to have the same opportunities as any other student.
And we've had a lot of success. I know our Learning Leading winners from last year, a couple of them spoke English as a second language, and so it's neat for us to see them come in and learn English and then go on to do great and wonderful things for their community.
They're incredible with so many assets to offer, yes.
And you get to see that every day?
Yep, it's a beautiful thing to see every day.
Well, thank you so much for everything that you're doing for our ESL students as well as our teachers in our community. And so that is all the time that we have on Homeroom. So we will catch you next time on Homeroom.